Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps people like to listen? How do I make money from my podcast? Well, the answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. When I started using Anchor to do my podcast, it was so extremely easy that I haven't even bothered to look for another app to use. I love this app. It's the only one I deal with, the only one I even recommend, period. I recommend you get on there ASAP. If you want to start a podcast, this is definitely the place to go. It's easy. You can drive around and record. You can sit in your basement and record. You can do it anywhere. It's fantastic. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast, make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start, anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Adam Rich from the Really Rich Podcast. I wanted to talk to you guys today about why, changing the narrative of what success actually is. So many people have it so fucked up and twisted about thinking that success is tied somehow to the items that you own, the size of your house, the cars that you drive, the amount of money in your bank account. And what they fail to stress, we learn about this nonsense all the time. We learn, you see stuff on TV, you'll see commercials, you'll see Keeping Up with the Kardashians, you'll see people living a fancy, rich life, and then we look at those things that they have, and we're society is led to believe that your happiness, you walking through life being thrilled about being alive and being happy every day is somehow connected with your bank account. And it's just so not true. It has nothing to do with the amount of money you have, the money you might be making. You know how many people find jobs that they absolutely fucking hate just because the money's good? They'll go work there. Or they, when they'll try to jump on trends that they don't even really care about, but they think that there's some money at the end of it. It's the same reason why people gamble so much. They're looking for a quick way of making money. They think that somehow making that quick money is going to somehow lead to them being happy. Money is not the fucking root of why people are happy. And I'm not mad at the people for feeling that way or believing that way, because that's just how we're raised now. That's just how society wants people to think. That's when people grow up, they're always, what is the number one thing? Name me a person that you know of besides myself that truly doesn't really care much about the money. I always say that I don't care about money, which is 99% true. The 1% where it's not true is when I do care enough about money to want to keep food on my plate and my family's plate. I don't want to be homeless. I would never say that money means nothing at all to me. I don't care about it at all, ever. I care about it enough to keep my family fed and keep shelter over their heads, and to keep them, keep my wife with a vehicle where she can drive to and from, to have a job, to make money and stuff, or to go grocery shopping, or to take our daughter somewhere or whatever. I care enough about money to at least want to not be broke or homeless. But to act like my driving force or the thing that gets me out of bed every day is about money is fucking laughable. I don't give a shit about money. Anyone who knows me dramatically, who knows me deep, who knows me for a long time, knows I don't give a fuck about none of that. I mean, right now at this minute, I'm wearing jeans and a hoodie and a t-shirt that are all bought by Old Navy. And Old Navy's not a sponsor for my show. I'm not making a penny for telling you that. Maybe I shouldn't even have said their name. But the point that I was getting at is I'm not buying like some fancy ass bougie like Gucci brand and I'm not even knocking people that do. If you want to buy those things or you really like those things, that's cool. That's awesome. But don't put yourself into a position where you're hurting financially just so you can look flossy, so you can look fancy, so you can look like you have a ton of money. Look, dude, if you're living in a very cheap area, a cheap house, a cheap neighborhood, driving cheaper cars, those things are all fine and those are good. But don't act like you're some super fancy millionaire that needs to rock the newest pair of Yeezys or have some fancy jewelry on you, or you need to buy all the pairs of shoes that you like, Jordans that you can get. Like, you don't need to act like you don't need to flex your pocketbook. Be smart about your pocketbook. Be smart about the money that you're spending. And when you can ignore the materialistic shit, dude, you can do so many more things in your life that honestly will bring you joy that have nothing to do with money. And I'm so this topic alone. Listen, I may seem a little more passionate or heated. I'm not even mad, but the reason I'm a little more ramped up about this topic is because this is something that my dad taught me when I was really, really young, and nobody fucking gets it. I mean, some people do, and it's not nobody, but the amount of people on the face of the earth that don't understand it far, 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 far exceeds the amount of people that do. When I was in high school, I was one of very few, like I went to a school where there were thousands of people in this school. There was literally, I want to say it was somewhere between 2,000 to 4,000. I don't remember. There was a certain amount of, I want to say it was like a few hundred, I think 400 or 500 graduated it might have been around 2,000 people in this school. Not the biggest school, but by no means is it the smallest. So there's thousands of kids in this school, and I can't name one person. And I'm sure there were some. I'm sure I'm missing a few, but I can't name one person that I went to high school with that gave a fuck about saving money. All I know, like even in high school, when I was all about saving money, I still bought dumb shit. Because most kids want to buy, they're young, you haven't experienced a whole lot of life yet, so it means something to you to get something fancy as soon as physically possible, especially if they were growing up in a not so well-off home. So it means a lot to them to buy. When you grow up very poor, it's so exciting to buy something really fancy, really nice, really expensive. It's so fun to treat yourself. And I get it. I totally get it. The problem is, if you do that while you're young and you don't save your money, you don't save a good amount of it, when you get older, you'll be regretting that you didn't do it. You'll be so much farther back than where you could have been. And it honestly, if you can hold off and wait patiently for that money to grow and grow and grow and keep adding to your savings or keep adding to a 401k or keep adding to a mutual, whatever it is that you're trying to save, even if you're just saving cash in a shoebox, when you stop taking from that and you keep adding and adding and adding, eventually the amount is so nice that you're just blown away and excited for the opportunities that it gives you. Because listen, people, it's not just about saving money so you can buy something expensive. To me, it's more important to save your money so you can have freedom to do what you want when you get older. Like, I'm not going to tell you exactly how much I have in my bank account. That's nobody's business, really. And it's not like there's plenty of people that have more, trust me. But I have put myself into a position that at my age, there's not many 36-year-olds that come from the background that I came from that can pay off their house at 36 years old. Most people buy houses and it's a 15 to a 30-year plan. Unless you're a multimillionaire and you bought a smaller home, you're probably not paying it all off early when you're young. Most people, like my parents, my mom and dad were extremely good about saving money, and they didn't even pay their house off until they were in their late 40s, early 50s. And they're the ones that taught me about saving. And trust me, my dad at the time, before he retired, he was making almost double a year than what I am. So it's not that it's not about what you make, it's about what you spend. And when you get enough of a little nest egg to where you can really invest in yourself, like think about this. If you started saving today and you want to start your own business, but you have nothing, you have no money. All you have is a bullshit job. Say you work, I don't even want to name it. Like say you have a job that just doesn't pay you well. That's my idea of a bullshit job. A job that you don't really care for. A job that you know is not a career, but it's a job. And it's one that just, you know you're not going to financially get real far ahead when you work there. Here's what you could do. If you had that bullshit job and say you saved 10% of your money every week, enough to where you can still pay all your bills, but maybe you just don't get to go out as much, like for fancy restaurants. Maybe you don't get to buy as many jewelry or pairs of shoes or jerseys or fucking video games or whatever it is that you're into. If you saved a little bit of that money, even just 10%, a week, a month, then slowly over time, you could put that into something that you really cared about. If you wanted to start a business, but you're broke, start saving a little bit of money. And it doesn't have to be just a business. It can be anything. Say you want to buy a bigger home. Say you want to buy a nicer car. Say you want to buy, which I don't recommend these things. If you don't have to, if there's something that's really, really important to you, save your fucking money little by little so you can eventually afford whatever big thing that you want to put that money towards. Now, I knew this when I was younger, but I was just too bullheaded to do it. But if you save your money well enough, then you can eventually get to a place where, say that bullshit job that you don't like, you can now quit. You can now do your own thing. You can start your own channel. You can start your own business. You can you can do whatever you want. You can travel a lot if you want. What I'm saying is, what people do a ton of is we buy stupid ass shit that doesn't matter at all because it makes it look like we have a good amount of money because we're trying to look like we're trying to impress people. Like when you buy a fancy car, if you just want an expensive car and you don't care if it's Mercedes, BMW, Lexus, you don't care about the brand, you just want to have a fancy car, you're losing. You're fucking losing. Because for you, it's not about, like, I get it. When my dad said he always wanted a Corvette, it had nothing to do with the speed or the luxury or the shape. It was, he had an idea in his mind from when he was young that he really, really, really liked Corvettes. So for him, buying a Corvette had nothing to do with buying a fast car just to have a fast car. It wasn't about buying an expensive car just to have an expensive car. It was about buying a fucking thing that he had loved for his whole damn life. To me, that's what saving your money is for. It's for buying shit that is important to you. It's for buying things that matter to you. Who gives a fuck what you're dressed like, what kind of jewelry you have on, what kind of fancy car you drive? If you don't actively love the thing that you are purchasing, why are you wasting your fucking money? It's just, this is so, it's something that is just not taught in school, but it is so beneficial. It is so critical. Like me, I want to buy a legit I don't want to just keep doing, like, I do my podcast either from my phone, from my house, like, it's a very bare bones setup that I use. And I could go buy a fancy, like a nicer microphone. I could go buy a nicer computer or buy a nicer camera. But the reality is, the more I purchase now, when it's not exactly 100% relevant, the less I can afford to invest in myself later. So what I'm doing now is I'm making do with what I have. Is it the best quality equipment or the fanciest, nicest, richest way to go about it? Absolutely not. But that's not what's important. The message that I'm trying to get across to people, that is what is important to me. And I'm doing that. As long as I can continue to do that with what I'm doing, then I can save for what I want to do later, which is when I can get up enough money to go all in on what I love, and it's investing, and it's actually putting money back into my pocket, that's what I'm going to take a big lump sum and put money towards. I want to eventually buy a studio. I want to eventually move on to have that and to put more money into ads and do all these things. But I also have a family to take care of. I have a daughter to raise. I have a wife to keep happy. I have bills to pay. So I'm paying as little as I possibly can for like bills and stuff, while also keeping my family taken care of, keeping them happy, and putting in time and effort with them, because it's a balance. You need to find what works for you, what gives you good work-life balance, and what ultimately brings you the most joy and happiness. And that is what success is about. That's what being happy is about. It has nothing to do with money. And luckily for me, I was blessed enough to have parents that taught me that at a very early age, because while so many people around me were lost and trying to figure out how they could make another dollar, I was trying to figure out how I can position myself to be extraordinarily happy for all of my life. And that is exactly what I've done. And I've said this a billion times, and I'll say it again. Do I have moments where I'm not happy at that moment? Like if I'm standing in line for too long, or if I come home thinking that there's another, ice cream drumstick left and there's not, and I'm out of ice cream now. Like there's moments that I have that are not the best, the funnest. But to say it perfectly is like this. I am happy every day. I might not be happy all day, but I am happy every day. It's just the truth. And it's not because of my money or my finances or my home or my cars or any of that. None of that matters at all. The reason I'm happy personally is because I have a loving wife, and I know she's a great woman. She's great for my kid. She's great for me. I have a wonderful daughter who's healthy. My wife and my daughter are healthy. I have awesome parents that did a great job teaching me about the world and raising me. I have good health. My parents have good health. I have a job. It's not that I have the dream job. It's that I have a job that gives me enough money to pay my bills and enough leisure time to take care of what I want to take care of and do what I like to do. I have a home. It's not a mansion. It's not a fancy house. It's a home. I have shelter for me and my family. That fucking matters. The size of your house means nothing. The area you live in means nothing. The fanciness of your car means nothing. It's all optics for other people. That's all it is. You buy a big ass home. Listen, if you desperately have to have a big home, then do it. Or if you just love having a big ass house, not because it makes you look good to other people, but because you love having a big home. If you love something, then it's never stupid to spend money on it. If you love jewelry, then spend money on it. See, I'm not telling people where they should put their money. I'm telling you that if you don't love what you're buying, stop fucking buying it. That's it. But I would never say to somebody, stop buying jewelry because jewelry's dumb. What I'm saying is if you don't love jewelry, then buying jewelry is dumb. If you're just buying jewelry to look good to other people, that's dumb. That doesn't mean you're dumb. It means that the idea of buying something that you have to spend your hard-earned money on to make other people impressed, that's fucking dumb. And it doesn't mean you're dumb as a whole, as a person. It means that idea is dumb. We all have dumb ideas. So don't take it like a personally or offensive that I'm saying that something may or may not be dumb. If you love it, it's not dumb. Listen, if you wanted to, I've said this before, if you want to collect yo-yos, right? I don't collect yo-yos. I'm not into them like that. But if you are, and you just love every fucking yo-yo you can get your hands on, then spend your money on that. If you love it, then it's never dumb. But when you buy things that you do not need to impress people that you probably don't even know or like, that is dumb. So I'm just trying to take the pressure off of saving money. I'm trying to put pressure on people about buying dumb shit that they don't need, because it's limiting you from having a lump sum of something you can drop on something important that you really care about later. Look, if you have a great idea for a business, but you just don't have the money, start saving today. It may take a year. It may take 5 years. It may take a decade. But if you don't start, then a decade will pass and you're going to be in the same shit. And now you're going to be twice as miserable because your health may not be there in 10 years like it is right now. Maybe it is. Maybe it's better. Your money is not going to be there if you keep buying stupid shit. Like, the point is, you need to prepare long before you expect something to happen. And that's not the sexy thing to say. A lot of people don't like to hear that. A lot of people are like, no, I work hard for my money. I don't work for no reason. I want to make money and I want to spend it. Okay, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, then you can do that. But then in 10 years, don't come crying to me about you're still broke after 10 years, but you got a bunch of meaningless shit laying around your house that you thought was cool 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 1 year ago. The point is, if you don't absolutely need it, don't waste the money on it. And this is what happens. People get money in their pockets and then they burn a hole. It burns that hole in that pocket. They don't want to stop. Why would you want to stop? It's fun having extra money. It's fun spending it. What's not fun is really, really wanting something that you're not even close to affording, and you know it's going to take years of working at that job that you hate just to finally get out of it. That shit's not fun. It's resentful. It's regretful. And it leads to just a downward spiral of unhappiness that I don't wish on anyone. Now, with all that being said, the real major point that I'm trying to hit home with about success is that that your idea, the way we're taught about success is that it's a money-based, bank account-based thing. Like if you have a high, a respectable job. Like they'll consider, if you have an important job under somebody else's standards, if you have an important job, or if you have a lot of money, or you're a high position in your company or something like that, then you're successful. That's what they call it. It's successful. I'm calling bullshit on that. And I'm going to tell you why. If your idea of being successful means that you have a lot of money, then why do so many successful people, why are they so depressed? Not all of them, but why is there so many people that are depressed, that have shitloads of money, shitloads of fame? Just everyone knows who they are. Everyone likes them. All these, they have everything going for them. Why would somebody like that be so depressed and so miserable and possibly suicidal? Why does that happen then if somebody is so happy about success? The idea of success means that you made it. You've done it. It was a good job by you. So why are we so miserable then? If you did so good, why are you so miserable? And not you personally, but maybe somebody that is hearing this right now is miserable, and they have all kinds of money, all kinds of success, all kinds of, or quote unquote success. See, I think what the conversation should be about is your idea. The idea of success should be based on how happy you are. You decide if you are successful. See, if anyone looked at my job or my house or my cars, they're not going to look, most people in society are not going to be like, man, that guy is a successful guy. But I'm going to tell you why I feel like I'm successful. Because I'm fucking thrilled. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy. I have gratitude for the things that are in my life. People put success on like their own merits, on their own. They put it into themselves about like look at, if you're a basketball player and you made it to the NBA because you're so damn good, but you're a bench player, is that successful or is it not? Because I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people are going to be like, no. But then some people are going to look at, even though you're sitting on the bench, you make a lot of money, so you're successful. But in the basketball world, with all the superior athletes, the LeBrons, the Jordans, the Kobes, rest in peace, Mamba mentality. Even Kobe would tell you that success, his idea of success wasn't making all that money. And it wasn't, he didn't consider himself successful because of where he stands in the rankings of basketball. His life was a success. He wanted to play basketball and be one of the greatest ever. He did that. Had nothing to do with money. He wanted to be a good husband and a good father. He did that. He was successful. But when we tie money or your items, your belongings to how successful you are, it gets people in a really dark place really quickly. Oh, I don't have that big house I wanted. I don't have that nice car that I wanted. I don't have that high salary job that I wanted. But are you doing what you love every day? Are you waking up every day thrilled to be alive, whether it's Friday or Monday? Are you grateful for all the awesome things that you get to experience in your life, the positives? Look, if you're able to even hear this right now, you have it better than at least 1 billion people who are starving and living in huts and have no clean water, no good food to eat, no real hope for life, famine, disease. Do you realize how much of that shit exists in the world still to this day? There are still places on earth that have open slavery. Now, it's been so far removed from America that it's hard to fathom that anyone would be a slave. Think about it. There's human sex trafficking all the time, or not even for sex, just human trafficking in general. What do you think they're going to do? Work at fucking Starbucks in another country? No. Like, there is some awful shit that is going on in the world as we speak. But yet, we'll find things to complain about. Oh, I don't like who the president is. I don't like this job that I have. I don't like the guy, my boss. I don't like, pick something. I don't like the way, I just seen, and this only just because this was just fresh on my mind today at work, that people are talking about the Houston Astros not getting the title, barely getting penalized and stuff. Like, people will find and complain. And listen, I don't agree that they get to keep everything either, but that's another time and day. Who cares, right? The point is that I'm trying to make, we're putting all of our stock into the wrong shit. We're putting all of our, all of our joy, all of our happiness, we're putting all of our passion into certain areas that just don't matter. Listen, if I asked you this is a serious question. Would you rather, if you woke up tomorrow, would you rather have millions of dollars, or would you rather be absolutely fucking thrilled, happy for the rest of your life? That's what I should say. Would you rather have millions of dollars for the rest of your life, or would you rather wake up every day for the rest of your life being happy as fuck? Now, it's crazy because I guarantee you there's people out there right now being like, I'll take the money, because you think that it's going to make you happy. It doesn't. I mean, look, I don't like taking it to this dark place, but I think it's necessary to bring up to make the point. There are a lot of successful, quote unquote, people that kill themselves. That's not cool. That's not fun. And they have tons of money, tons of fame. There's musicians that got to live their dream of being a musician, and they got paid. They got tons of money, tons of fame, tons of fans. And it still wasn't enough. Chris Cornell, the lead singer of Soundgarden, did it. Some of you people know who he is, some of you don't. They were huge in the 90s. And then he had another band, Audio Slave, and something else maybe after that. But the guy, you would think the guy was happy. It seemed like he was. I don't know people that hated his guts. I don't know of too many people that were like, yeah, fuck that guy. I don't know too many people like that. Most people that knew who he was or knew of him or whatever, or was around him, liked him. So he had that going for him. He was a decent looking guy. He wasn't like some hideous beast like Quasimodo in the clock tower. He was a decent looking cat. So he had that going for him. He was in a famous big time rock band making music that he liked. Traveling the world for fans that were cheering him on, making tons of money. He had all of that going for him. And he still took his own life. Guys, we need to change the fucking goal. That's what we need to do. We need to change this conversation about what is important in life. Some of the richest people on earth are the most fucking miserable. And some of the people that you would consider doing worse than you are some of the happiest people on earth. That's what success is. Being happy is success. And only you get to define if you are or are not successful. When I wake up every day, I don't think about, man, if I only had this, if I only had that, if I only had this, then I'd be happy. Then I'd be successful. No, my life is a fucking success because I wake up every day thrilled as shit about what I have. Not what I'm trying to get. It's about what I have. And I guarantee you there are people that are listening to this right now that have millions more than I have, dollars-wise. Have fancier cars, bigger homes, business suits up the... I don't even have one fucking business suit. I have one suit that I probably don't even fit in anymore that I wore for my wedding. You know, I don't even know if I fit in that bitch anymore. But I'm happy every single fucking day. I may not be happy all day, but I'm happy every day. I'm not happy if I wake up and I got a cold or something. You know, I'm sick. I'm not happy if my wife's pissed off at me for whatever I did. I'm not happy if my little daughter is sick and she's not feeling good. I'm not happy in those moments. But if I take a step out of those moments and I say, am I a happy person? Do I live thrilled? Am I a miserable fuck who can't find happiness in life? Or am I super fucking pumped about every day that I wake up? Am I grateful for the day that's in front of me, or am I dreading it? And I got to be honest with you, 99 out of 100 days that I wake up, I'm thrilled. I'm happy that I'm alive. I'm happy that my family is doing good. I'm happy that, listen, we all have shit. It's not like I lived a perfect life. And that's a big thing that I wanted to get across. Some people that hear what I'm saying may think, oh, well, you've just had everything go good for you. No, I haven't. I was engaged before and we didn't work out. It's not the wife that I have now. That did work out. This is why I'm happy. See, I wasn't happy the minute that me and my ex-fiance called it quits. But I knew that day, and you can ask my closest family members, the day that we split up, I was fine. Not because I didn't care, not because I hated her, not because I'm just a weird, twisted fuck. It's because I knew, that might be true too, but no, it's because I knew that whatever I was leaving behind, and trust me, it wasn't my decision that this all went down like this. I don't want to get into personal business for her sake, but let's just say it wasn't like I went home one day and I was like, you know what? I think we should call it quits. It didn't go down like that, okay? But the point is, even though it was a shocker and it kind of came out of nowhere, I knew immediately that whatever was being removed from my life was just making room for something better. And that's exactly what happened. Because the wife that I have now, I wouldn't trade for the world. I'm so happy that I met her. I'm so happy that the past relationships didn't work out. Now, when you go through a breakup, it's never the funnest moment of your life. But you can keep your thrill and your happiness in your life if you know that everything that's being taken away from you, everything that you're losing, it's not the end. If you have an optimistic point of view, and you know that your life, that this isn't the end, that you will find something better, whether it's a job, a house, a relationship, pick something. Losing something doesn't necessarily mean that now your happiness has to go with it. It means that you're making room for something potentially better. So, like, I had a vehicle that I drove it was a 2002 Denali. It was to this day, it's my favorite vehicle I've ever owned. But it got to the point after a while, after years and years and years, it got to the point where I was just putting too much money in it every year just to keep the thing running. And I said, why not just get a new car so I don't have to worry about it? Now, the new car that I bought was my dad's old truck that was like 3-4 years old at the time. It wasn't old, but it was, to me, I mean, it was a used vehicle, but for me, it was new. My dad wanted to get a new truck. He wasn't just going to give me his old truck, so I've had to make payments. Now it's paid off now, but I had to buy that truck. And to this day, I don't like it as much as I liked my Denali, but it's perfect. It's paid off. It gets me perfectly from point A to point B. I'm not sinking money into it like crazy. So it's one thing that I don't have to worry about. It's a bill that's taken care of that I don't have to worry about, and it's fine. But just because I had to give up the Denali doesn't mean, and it was my favorite, to this day it's still my favorite. That I don't look at that and be like, man, I'm miserable now that I don't have that vehicle. No, I had great moments with that vehicle. I had a great season, a good run with it. It was time for me to move on past that. And maybe one day I'll have an even nicer vehicle that puts that one to shame. But I don't care. That, like, my passion, my love, my happiness doesn't reside in the vehicle that I drive. So it wasn't difficult for me to give that up and find a new vehicle. It's moments and experiences and gratitude for what you've experienced. What you may have had a friend that is no longer with us anymore. Maybe you had a friend growing up that it was your best friend, and that person is not a lot, that, they're not here anymore. Instead of being miserable for the rest of your life about how that person's not with you, think of all the great moments that you had and be grateful that you got to experience them at all. Life is about perspective. You want to be happy, get your perspective right. There are so many people in the world right now that have it worse than you do. I don't give a fuck who's listening to this. Somebody in the world has it way worse than you ever will, and they would kill for the shit that you have. When you understand that and you can appreciate what is in your life that you have that other people would kill for, and you stop comparing yourself to shit that other people have, dude, shit gets really good quick. Your life will get good. Your perspective will get good. Your mindset will be the mindset of a conqueror, not some form, like some kind of a victim. You'll be a victor, not a victim. You change those 3 little letters and it is massive difference. I don't go through. No, listen, I got rid of that vehicle, that Denali that I loved, and I replaced it with a vehicle that I don't like as much, but it's more reliable. It's newer. It's fresher. It's, can handle more Michigan winters. But I don't look at it as a loss. It's gone, but I had good moments with it. I loved that vehicle. I had so many good times in that vehicle. But everything that you buy eventually gets old. Everything that you purchase with money eventually gets old. It just does. So when you put all of your thrill in life into how much money you have or how much you're spending or what your shit you're buying, keep in mind that at some point in your life, you're going to look back at those things and say, damn, that's old. Like, I don't need that anymore. And I say the same shit. Like, I had a Nintendo. Right now, I got a PC that is far superior graphics, far superior games, everything about the PC is infinitely better than a Nintendo. But at one point in time, that Nintendo was the shit. And then I got Sega Genesis. And then Sega Genesis made Nintendo look old and dumb. And I'll be honest, like every now and again, if somebody has a Nintendo at their house and they're like, hey, you want to play Mario or something? Sure, let's throw it on. 20 minutes in, I'm like, okay, that was fine. Things get old. No matter how great they are this second, it will get old. Most of us don't have a VR system, like a virtual reality system. Most of us aren't sitting in it every single day, all day. But there is going to be a point in time where a VR system is a standard household item. Everybody lives in these things damn near, half the day. And we're going to look back at this time and be like, damn, you remember when you had to sit in front of a computer? That shit was old. You remember when you sat and watched the news on TV? That shit was old. Now you watch it on your phone. Now you watch it in a VR system. Now, Like, remember, dude, it was like 3 minutes ago that you had to drive your ass to a grocery store to get groceries. Now they deliver. It was like, things get old. Anything that you buy with money eventually gets old. So that's why I say, when you're going to spend your money, I highly recommend that you only spend it on shit that you really, really love or that you need to have. Like, obviously, you need food, you need shelter, you need water, things like that. You absolutely need those things. You need a vehicle to get you to and from work or get you to and from places. You don't need a BMW or a Ferrari to do that. Now, if you have so much money that you're just like, fuck it, I'll just buy a Ferrari because it ain't going to faze me at all, then if you want, go ahead. I'm not trying to tell you what to purchase. I'm trying to tell you how to purchase. If you have big dreams, big aspirations, big things that you want to accomplish that are going to cost money, stop buying dumbass shit. And if you want the freedom, like, listen, I'm not trying to quit my job because right now it's got great insurance. It's got a good 401k. I'm taking care of my family. I need to keep food and I need to keep money coming in so I can put food on their plate. I'm not the biggest podcaster that can just rely on only the podcast. And that's the point. That's what I'm trying to get to, but it ain't there yet. And I can gladly admit that to whoever's listening right now. Maybe by the time you hear this, maybe I have so much money that you're like, damn, I can't believe he ever worked at a factory. But maybe I don't. But whatever the case is, today, February 20th, 2020, I still have a full-time job while I'm podcasting I'm trying to help people for free. This is my free time. At this moment, I'm sitting in my car about to walk in with food. Don't worry. I paused this at one point, got some food, just pulled in my driveway, kept going, and I'm about to walk in and hand it and get it for my wife and my kid, and me. Listen, I'm still happy, even though I have that full-time job that I got to go to. Is it my passion? Absolutely not. Is it my first love? Absolutely not. Am I thrilled to go to work every day? Absolutely not. But it's necessary. So I do it. But the beautiful thing is, because I've saved the way I have, if my job fired me today, and hopefully they don't, but if they fired me today, I would be absolutely fine. And that's what you want to get. I think everybody should try to get to a point where they don't ever have to worry. Like, there's only so much that my job could do to me or that my bank account could do to me. You know what I mean? It's a great place to be. Like, if I had to quit my job today, I could still pay off my house because I save and save and save. I don't say this to brag to people. I'm not saying like, hey guys, look at how awesome I am. That has nothing to do with anything. I'm trying to show you what is helpful for you. That, to me, that was the best. My dad forced me to save money for this reason alone. When I was younger, I was forced against my will to save money so I could eventually get to this point. And if it wasn't for my dad forcing me to do all the same shit that I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't be in this great fucking position. I'm in an incredible position because of the mentorship that I had all along the way. It's not because I'm just so awesome. I know these things now, and I can relay these messages now to other people, and that's a beautiful thing. I love that. That's that's why I do it for free, basically. Because I feel like I was given such an incredible gift of their wisdom, not mine, not because I'm awesome. I know that the shit sounds cocky if I just keep saying, oh, I have this and I have this. I'm not saying it to brag. I don't give a fuck about if you like it or hate it. I'm just trying to tell you what was helpful. And I am extraordinarily grateful for all of this advice that I'm giving you is because I was given it also. And it dramatically changed my life in an incredibly awesome, positive way. And that is all I want for every one of you. It's just a truth. If you feel like I'm lying or I'm scamming, please show me. Please call me out. If you think I'm full of shit, please challenge me on that. I know I'm going to win because it's the fucking truth. That's why I can say it so confidently. That's why at the end of every episode, I tell everyone, please, if you disagree, please call me. Please get a hold of me. Please DM me. I don't want you to think that I'm some bullshit artist. I want to show you because the shit was so great for me that I desperately want it to be great for you too. You know how there's such an incredible amount of depression in the world right now, especially in America, but in the world in general. There are so many kids and young adults and even older adults that feel so lost, feel so crippled by reality and by society of what they're pushing down your throat about what you should that they tell girls you should get ass implants and Botox and a tit lift. Like they tell women how you should look, and they tell men what you should strive to achieve, and it's bullshit. All of it is bullshit. Society can't tell you what you like. You know what you like. You knew what you liked when you were a fucking child, and maybe you still are a kid. But whatever the fuck it is that you like, try to figure out how you can make that a career for yourself. A reality like, I'm tired of seeing people that hate working go to work. Like, not hate working, like hate work. I mean, hate their jobs. I'm tired of seeing people that hate their jobs having to go into their jobs every day. Some people love their job. Keep doing it then. If you love it, keep doing it. All I'm just trying to give people the blueprint on how to be happy and how to sustain it. Because there's so much fucking depression and misery out there. There are so many people committing suicide or living incredibly what's the word? The self-esteem, like their self-esteem is just low. No confidence. Like, I don't want to see this for people. I've never liked it when I was a kid. I damn sure don't like it now. And if there's anything they didn't have podcasting when I was a kid. I couldn't just jump on. I knew this shit when I was young. I couldn't tell you about it. I couldn't tell the world about it. I told my friends. I always tried helping my friends get out of funks, stop being miserable. If they were sad or pissed off about something, I tried talking them back. I've had friends that wanted to fight people, and I didn't even necessarily like the guy they were trying to fight, but I still tried talking my friend out of fighting. It's just, I don't like seeing people unhappy and miserable. I never have. And luckily for me, my dad, still alive, thank God, but he's always had an incredible outlook on people. He's always had an incredible amount of wisdom that has been so like, I can't think of one thing my dad has ever told me that has fucked me over. Anything he's ever told me was to try and help me become smarter, better, happier, more confident. And I don't think anybody that knows me thinks that that I'm not confident. I'm extraordinarily, and I don't mean it to be a cocky, arrogant asshole. I just mean I've had so much confidence just beaten into me so much over the years from my own family that I don't think there's anything that I can't do. And I'm not saying that it's because I'm better than somebody or I'm better. I just don't see an obstacle that if I desperately want to figure it out, I think I'll figure it out. It's just because, and sometimes I fail. Like, don't get it twisted. I don't succeed at every single tiny little thing that I ever try, but I have the confidence to believe that I'm going to win. And then if I lose, then I go, okay, well, now I know what I need to do to get better. Like, there is no loss for me. It's all lessons. You either win or you learn lessons. You don't lose. The people that lose are the ones that give up and never try again. Then you've lost. But as long as you believe that there is nothing in front of you that you can't conquer once you get good enough, dude, your confidence is going to soar out of the fucking sky just like mine does. It's never about arrogance. It's never about I'm better than you or you're better than this guy or you're better than that girl. It's never about that. It's about having confidence to know that there's nothing in front of you that you can't fucking accomplish, that you can't just conquer. You should always try to conquer all adversity, unless it doesn't matter to you. Like, dude, if I go out and I suck ass at water polo, I don't care because it's not a big deal to me. But if I care about water polo, I'm fucking you up. I'm trying at least. It may not happen, but I'm going to keep trying until I do it. I remember my dad first bought a ping pong. I'm going to wrap this shit up. This is the last one. But I think you guys pretty much got the point. But I definitely want to hit home with this. I remember when I was younger, my dad bought a ping pong table. I thought it was dumb. I was like, what ping pong? It's like cheap ass tennis. It's like tennis for. I remember actually thinking when I was little. I don't think this now, but I remember when I was younger. I was like, this is like tennis for poor people. You know, and I was poor. Like, I mean, we weren't like poor, but we weren't like loaded by any means. So the point was, it was just a stupid statement, and it wasn't even true. But I just remember I didn't think highly of ping pong, right? I didn't get table tennis, ping pong, whatever you want to call it. I didn't think highly of it. My dad was like, well, let's play a game. And he fucking wrecked me. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. And then I was like, oh, but my dad always talked shit to me when he would beat me. So I was like, all right, you want to talk shit? I'll get so good that I'm going to whoop that ass. And I played tirelessly until I waxed that ass. I remember the first time beating him, and I remember beating him several times. And he's fantastic. Now, I haven't played ping pong in a while, so I doubt I'm nearly as good as I used to be. But I got to the point where I loved ping pong. I would challenge people I didn't even know to play ping pong. I remember I went over to a friend's house when I was about 21, and these guys were bragging about how awesome they were at ping pong. A friend of mine bought a ping pong table. They're all down there playing ping pong, and they were like, Adam, you want to jump in? I was like, yeah, I'll try it. And I fucking schooled every single person in that damn house. And it was beautiful. I loved it so much, you know? And it's not because... It wasn't because I'm just so naturally gifted at ping pong. It's because when my dad beat my ass in ping pong and he ran his mouth, I always wanted, like, he did such a great job of making me just like me feeding off of his shit talk. Because he didn't do it in an insulting, like, you suck and you're never going to be good kind of way. He did it in a, oh yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember word for word what he would say, but he just had he was a great motivator. He always has been. And so he would talk shit in ways that was funny and comical, but it would still get me to be like, all right, I want to get better. And then it became fun. As I got better, it became more and more fun. And now I love ping pong. I just haven't played it in a while. I kind of want a ping pong table now that I'm bringing it up. So maybe I'll get one of them soon. But I love it. But the point is, he instilled from an early age in me this idea that you're only not good enough if you give up. You will be good enough if you care enough. And I cared about getting good at that damn ping pong game, and I got damn good. In high school, as a matter of fact, I just remember this. In high school, no bullshit, I fucking worked over everybody in school because in gym class, there was I don't know if it's still like this is 15, 20 years ago now, but in school, we had where like every week or every 2 weeks, we would go all in on like a specific sport. We would learn about it. We'd play it for 2 weeks nonstop, and then we would move on to another sport. Well, when we got to table tennis, ping pong, oh, dude, I think in singles, I came in first place. I don't want to say easily. There was some good people playing, but I came in first place in singles. I think in doubles, we came in like second. I want to say we came in second in doubles, but I don't think it was. I don't want to say that it was my fault on that. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, the point is, guys, this is not out of the realm of possibility for anybody. All you have to do is have the confidence in yourself. It's not about feeling like you're a better human being than somebody. It's not like you're saying, "Oh, I'm better than him." You may be more talented in a specific field. That's fine. Believe that. But I don't feel better than people. If I met you, I don't feel better than you as a person. I might be more skilled in a specific field, and you may be also in something. But I never look at another human being and I'm like, yeah, I'm better than that person. And I hate people like that. It's never been an arrogance thing. It's a confidence thing. There's a huge fucking difference between arrogance and confidence. As a matter of fact, I get real deep into this in one of my early podcasts called The Confidence or Arrogance. I think that's what the title is. Check it out. I honestly love that. I think it's a really good message because it explains. This is not an arrogance thing. Trust me, whenever I tell you guys anything, it's never I'm better than you, so you should listen. I'm smarter than you, so you should listen. It's, I've learned these things, whether it be like because I learned the hard way or the smart way or the good way. But either way, you gotta have confidence in yourself. You're a human being just like I am. If I'm capable of doing something, so are you. If you're capable of doing something, so am I. Now, you may be better, you may be farther along, but I have enough confidence in my own self that I feel like, well, if I practice enough, if I try enough, and if I care enough, I'm going to beat anybody I try to be that I want. But it's the Mamba mentality. You got to work for it. I mean, you don't just have confidence. You don't just see something happen for the first time and go, yeah, I can beat everybody. That's arrogance. It's pretty dumb to think. But I do have the confidence to think, if I practice this enough, I'm going to beat anybody that stands in front of me. And I really believe that. And you got to believe that. I think that every person, every like Hall of Fame athlete believes that they can beat anybody. They might not do it, but they believe it. And it starts there. Belief in yourself. If you want to be happy, if you want to be successful, you define the terms of what success actually looks like to you. And then you go out there and achieve those goals. Don't listen to anybody else's idea of success. You're going to keep spending on dumb shit to try to match whatever the new cool thing is, and it's an endless cycle of throwing your money down the fucking toilet. I just don't encourage that, that's all. You know? But listen, guys, I seriously had to get going. This is way longer than I thought it was going to be, but I'm grateful to talk to you guys. I love it, and I hope this was super helpful for somebody. Please, guys, redefine your definition of success. It's about being fucking happy first. You, your family, the people you care about, your appreciation for what you have in your life, start there. What you have, not what you're trying to get. It's hard to be happy for things that you don't have yet. It's hard to be happy for things that haven't even hit your life yet. Start with the things that you already got. That's where happiness comes from. I love you guys so much. If you want to get a hold of me, please do through the Anchor app. You can leave me a voice message, or you can get a hold of me on any of the social media apps like Instagram. The name is Really Rich Podcast. You can find me on there, follow, DM, whatever. Twitter, it's Really Rich Adam. All one word, Really Rich Adam. On Snapchat and YouTube, it's Really Rich. On LinkedIn, it's just Adam Rich, founder and host of Really Rich Podcast. And on TikTok, it's Adam Rich. Or maybe you see Really Rich. I'm not sure. There's both on there, but I believe it's Adam Rich. But anyway, please, guys, if you want to leave any questions, comments, concerns, if you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, if you hate me, you love me, all of that shit, I want to talk to each and every one of you. That is the goal. I love you, and no question is stupid. No question is bad. No question is, just ask away. I encourage all questions. I love you guys, and I thank you again for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.